Hello and welcome to Towards a Better India. Now, the government has kind of put forward a proposal where it is suggesting that any and every foreigner who comes into the country essentially needs to be registered online at practically every step, say a hotel, motel, a guest house, even a private residence. Say I host a foreigner at my own residence. I need to kind of make sure that that person's details are entered online so that there's some sort of a track in terms of when he or she's actually come into the country, what is the visa number, what are the other relevant details, what is the purpose of that person's visit, etc. Now, see, from when it comes to say illegal immigration in particular, I don't deny the fact that it happens, and it happens on a relatively large scale in India. Having said that, much of that illegal immigration is from the neighboring countries, the immediate neighboring countries, and a little bit, say, from the surrounding region. Apart from that, there is relatively very little illegal immigration which is happening, say, from countries which are far away. So that means that what we essentially need to do is make sure that as far as our border patrolling and fencing is concerned, that is very robust. Other tourists, the port of entry is typically the airports, and therefore at say the visa control systems, as long as they are robust and as long as they are in place, I think we do have a reasonably good tab on the tourists who are coming in, their details in terms of when they came in, when they are supposed to leave the country. As long as that is in place, I am not too sure if every foreigner needs to be made to go through the system. And when I look at countries elsewhere, I don't quite see anything like this. In case I'm wrong, please point out, but I'm not aware of countries elsewhere who are putting in such a system. If I look at US, definitely there's no such system in place, especially because US itself is such a multicultural, it's like a melting pot of so many different cultures. US as a country, to define and demarcate a foreigner versus an American is very difficult. As an Indian, if I've immigrated and if I've settled down in America, if not me, my next generation will definitely be labeled and looked at as American. Not an Indian. They would definitely be Americans of Indian origin. So similarly, there are Chinese, or there are look at the entire white race of America. They're essentially descendants of European immigrants. So that way it's very difficult, and I don't think this is a great move. I mean, I know where the government is coming from. I understand the fact that illegal immigration per se is there in the country, but I think there are better ways, and this is, I think, what will eventually it will lead to is unnecessary bureaucratic hurdles, which are probably not desirable, because already when you look at red tape and all sorts of bureaucratic procedures and formalities, already there are way too many in our country, and they're procedures which take up a lot of time. And in particular, what I've read so far, at least the preliminary report suggests that this is something which needs to be done on a daily basis. So imagine if I have a foreigner who's come into the country on a 6-month tourist visa, which is what the Indian authorities typically issue. So when you seek a tourist visa to come to India, you're given a 6-month visa. So imagine if I have a foreigner over who's probably staying for, say, 2 weeks or 1 month. So do you want me to, like, every 14 days, every single day of those 14 days, every single day of that 1 month period, that 30 days, you want me to go online and register each time? I think that's nonsensical. So I hope at least this part is not true, where there needs to be like a daily update each time. Maybe that foreigner is checking into a new hotel or new sort of place to stay. Okay, I mean, if that needs to be done, but even for me personally, that too doesn't really make much sense, because I don't see much logic in doing that. Typically what should be the case is that the entry points and the exit points, they are very robust in their functioning, and the border patrolling and fencing, because given the fact that much or most of the illegal immigration into India takes place from our immediate neighbors, as long as that is strong, I think other things will not really matter that much. So this is something which I wanted to take up in this video. Cheers.